So we made it out to Burgess Falls. It's about an hour, I think an hour drive it was, to get out here. Park closes in a few hours, so I'm not going to be here too long. But the one thing I noticed was, as I was driving out here, Fall Creek Falls is kind of along the same way. So I'll be able to hit that on the way back. But I was able to actually get out here. This is just kind of the starting area of it. So what I'm going to try and do is hike out a little bit and see what else I can find, because not all of it is behind me, and see what else, because again, it came up my feed. It's supposed to be something pretty cool, and I want to actually check it out. I had to kind of warm up a little bit. It's getting cooler. It says it's still 4 or 5 degrees, but it definitely doesn't feel like it anymore. It definitely feels cooler out here. So, but you know what? Driving through the mountains, driving just along as I go, is something that I really appreciate, and being able to get out and see everything, what is around us, because I think flying, you miss a lot of what is actually available to see, because you go to a destination but you miss so much, and that's kind of like where I've always been. So, but you can hear it, you can see it too, that this is just kind of a beautiful area. And for the first few days of December to be like this, I can really appreciate it and really enjoy it. So, not as bad of a hike, and definitely a little more fun, and not too much of a mountain goat course to kind of try and fumble through and figure out where you're going, looking for your markers, and making sure that you're not going to twist an ankle as you're going, you know. But again, it's about the scenery, the experience, and what you get to do. And that's what I'm all about nowadays, is just go out, see it, enjoy it, understand it, and really appreciate it. I think it's a big part of what I've come to realize and come to tell a lot of people in passing, is just we don't appreciate enough, and we seem to kind of expect or think we're expected to be appreciated without kind of giving it first. And I think that goes back to the whole, you earn respect, it's not just given to you. And I think it's appreciation too of what's out there, and what we have is the same thing. So that's kind of my tidbit there. Just so as I continue to walk, we're walking kind of alongside of it. It doesn't look like there's much else left, but again, for a waterfall or a falls, you know, it's little, but it's tranquil. That's what I'll call it. That's really where I seem to find a lot of peace, a lot of self-reflection. Kind of still have some questions about myself, but you know, it's the more and more that I'm on social media and I'm kind of listening to different things, you know, we hear, well, it's not his fault, it's prior relationship fault, this and that. No, I can agree to some of it, maybe even to most of it, but I'll disagree to some as well, because through maturity comes self-reflection, and also comes self-realization and understanding the work that needs to go in. And I don't think it's something that is done just at one age or one experience. It's continuous, and it needs to be done whether or not you want to, or you feel you need to, or you feel you have to. I would never say it's something that you'd want to do for someone else. You want to do it for yourself, and you want to do it because you want to see yourself in a better light. The connection between your external and internal self is one thing, but the understanding, I think, is the other thing to it. And that's where I really am today. You know, the more I self-reflect, the more I question my actions, the more I understand the rationale behind it. I think that plays a huge part in this. And I think that's something that we all need to do, and we all need to kind of understand from, multiple viewpoints. So that's kind of my deep thought with Dave, let's call it. And I'm going to walk back and get to Fall Creek Falls. We'll see you again. So lucky enough or unlucky enough, I went into a little area to check out kind of a higher view of what I thought was part of the falls, and I saw a sign, and that sign actually said that I still had to hike another 3/4 of a mile to see the big falls. So now what we're doing, we're walking 3/4 of a mile, and we're going to see what they call the big falls, and get some video, get some pictures of that. But I don't know, good for me, bad for me, whatever. It is what it is. On vacation, I feel what's going to happen now is I'm probably going to have about 15,000 steps by the end of the day, which is used to be the norm. And since everything kind of changed, and not through 2025, but even earlier, I wasn't doing as much cardio and as much walking as I had used to. So I got to get back into it, and you know what? This is a great way to push myself and have more adventures and share more things. So let's get to the big falls and let's check it out. All right. So there's a sign to look for. It was the middle falls I was at first, great one, but after it's a little bit of a trek, and again, you could take two different paths when you're coming to Burgess Falls, and you can take a lower or an upper. An upper doesn't have the kind of rough terrain that it is, because it's more of like a side-by-side path, which gives you a little bit of a easier walk, depending on your capabilities and your alertness, let's call it, because as we all know, the less alert we are, the more dangerous things become. So up to you. I took the easier path right now, but I'll go back the other way and check it out. So now we're here, and definitely totally different. It looks like lime. I'm not sure what's on the rocks, but I'll flip the camera around so you can see it. Definitely very impressed. You can see it here. See what I was talking about. And there we go. And that is definitely impressive. I wish you could get down there and be right down there. I'm not sure if you can. There probably is a way, but I think that's incredible as well. That's quite a spectacular view, and you can hear just the strength of it as it waterfalls. So pretty cool for Burgess Falls, and a pretty awesome sight. But again, just beautiful to look at and just take in for the moment and understand that there's a lot of things in life that we could look at, but nature is something that you just can't pass up, because we seem to be slowly taking it over more and more. Thanks. Funny enough, as I'm walking through here, I was just thinking, and I noticed it, but I didn't really catch it. But when I come down in August, there's these Asian vines that are invasive, and they're taking over a lot of the parts of the Smokies that I've seen. And they're saying that they're brought over from Asia, and they just spread like wildfire because they're released into the wild. And the amount of growth these things have is insane. And as I walk through Burgess here, the funny thing is, is I don't see these things. And I don't know what it is, because they would wrap themselves around the tree, take over the tree itself, strangle it, but then take over the shade. And the more I look around, the more I notice that these vines aren't here. So I don't think they're seasonal, let's call it, because there'd still be remnants of it. Because I've gone through walks, and especially I've seen it up in my area, in kind of like the Ontario region of Canada, and notice them around. But here, both at Denny Cove and here at Burgess, I don't see them. So I don't know if they just haven't made their way here yet, or if there's something within the area that kind of prevents them from coming down here. So, interesting little tidbit. And once I find the name of those things, I'll come back to you with it. Hopefully I'll get it before I go to Fall Creek Falls. Alright? Thanks.